What's good, Joe? Welcome back. It is officially race week. I can't wait for that. Obviously, we are at Imola. Ferrari, big, race for them. Obviously, the Italian GP lot. You can also say as well. But today, I want to check out Lewis Hamilton and why he's potentially struggling. Now, I think Lewis Hamilton is currently in 7th place in the driver standings. Now, listen, outside the sprint race, when he's kind of been, nothing too crazy like we probably expected when he came to Ferrari. Obviously, Ferrari, as we know, always every year, there's something going on with Ferrari. It's either the car or it's the management of certain decisions happen in races or much else. But I want to check out today. Shout out Overtake fans. All credit goes to them. Big time. And without further ado, boys and girls, you guys let me know in the comments about how you guys are feeling about Lewis Hamilton so far this season. Outside of that, I guess we just start the video. Don't forget to like the video, sub as well. We should be live for this weekend as well. Looking forward to that. That's enough of me talking. Let's get started.
The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix has gone on in a very poor manner for Lewis Hamilton, who failed to climb at least one position and finish right where he started at P7. Any driver would be concerned with the gap of just over half a second Hamilton has had to his teammate in qualifying in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. So, the question needs to be asked, why is Lewis Hamilton struggling to extract maximum pace from his Ferrari SF25? Lewis Hamilton started the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix weekend optimistic of a breakthrough he made at Bahrain thanks to changes he made to his driving style.
He brings so much aura to F1 because he's one of the most, swaggiest, drippiest, kind of what the kids say, the flyest in Formula One. But come on, man. I need you to start producing. I need you to start winning some races.
That positivity melted away in the Jeddah heat of a difficult Friday practice as he failed to pass the ultimate test during qualifying in the race, as the 7-time world champion was half a second adrift Charles Leclerc during qualifying and finished the race 30 seconds behind the Monegasque. Elaborating further on his weekend, Lewis said, "No, there wasn't 1 second where I felt comfortable with the car. Well, clearly the car is capable of being P3, so Charles did a great job today. So I can't blame it on the car. I have no idea why I'm not experiencing the same joy as he is." Hamilton post-qualifying revealed that he is just struggling to gel with the car, and mentioned that the biggest issue currently for him is that he struggles to get the most out of the car when pushing it
it's
to
a
the
whole
limit.
new car going from Mercedes to
We know
Ferrari,
that qualifying has not been Lewis's strong suit in recent times, but his struggles and the deficit has been ballooning of recent. Looking at his telemetry over from his Q3 lap at Jeddah, we can clearly see where his lap time losses are compared to his teammate Charles Leclerc, and those exactly reveal why Hamilton seems to be struggling to get the maximum out of his Ferrari SF25. Reason number one seems to be a Ferrari's unique car characteristic. Lewis Hamilton's signature driving style can be summed up as a tendency to brake late and hard, loading up the front tyres as the car pitches forward, reducing the car to the corner fractionally before he has to, then using the rear rotation to help turn the car without it over-rotating into a slide. Difficult style to perfect, but one where Hamilton's precision and feel allowed him to thrive. The Ferrari SF25 is a front-oriented car with a slightly loose rear end. For Hamilton's driving style to work, he needs a rock-solid rear end, which has been one of his complaints in the last couple of seasons at Mercedes. Hamilton prefers a car with natural understeer, which gives him the ability to brake late and throw the car into a corner using the rear of the car for rotation. Missing that rear end definitely is hurting Hamilton, as he is not confident enough to chuck the car around at Jeddah's high-speed corners, similar to Leclerc, which we can clearly see from the onboards. The Ferrari SF25 seems to be requiring a different approach. It's designed for more smoother inputs due to the car's balance being on the nose.
So, for what I'm taking so far, it's just two different styles. The car, its characteristics, and Lewis driving characteristics are just different. Just different. Like he said, Lewis likes to brake late. He likes to pause late. He likes to stop late. The car ain't built for that, it seems like. So that's why Lewis, you can say, is struggling. Now, I do know, like, there's going to be a break coming up, after a few more races, the midsummer break or whatever. I would assume that allows him to, tweak the car a bit that can fit Lewis. But at the same time, Leclerc's been pretty solid this year. How much you want to change the car that affects Leclerc? But, there's got to be a middle ground somewhere, I would assume. Or maybe Lewis just...
The brake systems of the car itself is another reason for Hamilton's Ferrari struggles. As we know, Hamilton has been accustomed to carbon industry brakes during his Mercedes and McLaren years, while Ferrari uses Brembo brakes, and the feel and the bite that drivers get are completely different between the two suppliers. Hamilton, as we know, is an insane late and hard braker and makes big gains by trail braking. With the carbon industry brakes, he could lean on that style heavily, hit the pedal late, trail into the corner and rotate the car with precision. But with Brembos at Ferrari, which tend to deliver an initial bite much more suddenly, his approach of trail braking does not work very well. Earlier in the weekend, we heard Hamilton's engineer Adami telling Lewis that he could find more time by braking 10 meters earlier into a corner, similar to his teammate Charles Leclerc. From this brake trace comparison between the 2025 Ferrari and the 2024 Mercedes, we can see how differently the two brake systems work. And Ferrari consistently shows slightly earlier braking. It reaches full pressure before the Mercedes in a few zones. In the Ferrari, Hamilton is having to brake a touch earlier. He's possibly dealing with a snappier brake bite, a feel he has no muscle memory of or for. It's common that his confidence might be pretty shaken when he can't use the one skill his whole career was built on. Reason number 3 is something Hamilton has never had to do during his Mercedes years, but has to do it in his Ferrari, and that is engine braking. Hamilton at Bahrain revealed that he has been using engine braking, which he never did at Mercedes. And looking at the telemetry comparison between Hamilton and Charles during their Q3 laps at Jeddah, we can clearly see some power delivery differences. Analysing the telemetry, we can see that Hamilton under braking seems to be feeling an unexpected kick of torque that actually lengthens the braking distance. While the driver's feeling would be to bring the stopping phase further into the corner, the resulting effect is that he suffers the inevitable understeer, not the sort of understeer Hamilton actually prefers. So he's having to travel deep into the corner, missing the apex, missing his braking point, and struggling to rotate the car. This phenomenon emerges clearly in turns 4, 11, 22 and 23. So consequently, Hamilton's having to use a greater steering angle, and during acceleration, Lewis has to wait to bring his foot on the gas pedal and make it slower, even on certain straights. Obviously, the tyres suffer in these load variations as well. Reason number 4 contributing to Hamilton's struggles is that he doesn't have a definitive baseline car setup for each and every Grand Prix, a complete contrast to his teammate. It was evident in Jeddah as well, where he was the one testing 2 rear wing specifications while Charles was running the low drag spec right out of the blocks. Lewis, obviously being new to Ferrari, doesn't have a set baseline yet, and he probably will take some time to find his baseline.
That's what I say. That's what I say. I feel like it's going to take Lewis a bit of time just to get more adjusted to the car. I think we're not even 10 races in. So let's just calm it down a bit. Just calm it down a bit. Let's relax. Let's relax. Once we get to like the Silverstones, the Dutch GP, the French GP, those type of races, we'll see. If he's still struggling by then, okay, something's going on. We gotta fix that. But am I concerned so far? To a degree, yes, because I'm expecting better from Lewis Hamilton. The Lewis Hamilton. Have I been disappointed so far?
How Carlos has taken his time at Williams.
Yes.
Probably spending some time at the simulator in Maranello, which Lewis actually hates a lot, might not be a bad idea for the 7-time world champ to figure out a good baseline car setup. Finally, contributing to Hamilton's struggles is the current ground effect philosophy generally not suiting Hamilton's driving style. Hamilton's driving style with late braking worked so well due to previous generation of cars having a greater pitch, which he was able to use to rotate the car with the rear end support. But the current generation of ground effect cars run low, with very limited ride height movement because of the need to hold the car in the right window aerodynamically, and don't respond well to this style of driving. And the use of mechanical controls like anti-dive and anti-squat limits the car's pitch and yaw, which further damages Hamilton's feel while braking. Also, Ferrari currently are running the SF25 a little higher than they optimally would want to for compliance's sake, so that is another thing that might be affecting his overall balance. Major issue for Hamilton currently seems to be around his braking. There are lots of factors involved like the brake systems, engine braking, and the car's entry-exit and mid-corner balance. Any driver would be concerned with the gap of just over half a second Hamilton has had to his teammate in qualifying in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia.
Half a second is that
but
big
with
of
the
a deal?
stylistic challenges,
When you
the
think
need to adapt, the lack of confidence, and the time required to build ever more familiarity with the array of tools available to refine the car's dynamics, that's time that can melt away as things come together. The car in general is front-oriented, which will be a problem for Lewis during push laps, but the dynamic of Lewis Hamilton in the SF25 has just not clicked yet. We have seen a glimpse of what his pace is like when he is gelled with the car during the China sprint, where he struck his SF25 on pole and won the race leading in clean air. That also shows that the SF25 has a very narrow working window, and at that instance, with just one practice session, Lewis capitalized on it. And ever since they had to raise the car to avoid plank wear issues, he has not been able to find that working setup. Hopefully the upgrades Ferrari are planning for Imola do address this ride height concern, which just might be what Hamilton needs to get in sync with this Ferrari car. But from what we have seen from the first couple of races, it's going to take some time.
Wait, Lewis has a win outside the sprint race? I don't recall. Unless I'm bugging. If I heard that correctly, I thought
time for the 7-time world champ to recalibrate his muscle memory to the characteristics and driving tools of the Ferrari SF25. Hamilton has the experience, so I believe with time he should be able to produce better performances in the future. So, what do you guys think? Do you think...
Like I said, this is the best F1 driver in a lot of people's eyes of all time. So, his greatness, he's going to find a way to get right with the car, change what he needs to do to have better, have a lot more better performances and all. So let's see what Lewis does the upcoming weekend. Like I said, we are at Imola this weekend, so let's see what he does. Obviously, the big race for Ferrari. Outside of that, don't forget to like the video, sub as well. Take care, stay amazing. See you guys soon. Peace.